Guys, welcome back to another video. This is Math Stats, and we are gonna do the part 3 or part 2 of actually solving the quadratic equation. So before we move on, take a quick moment and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be alert when I post a new video, as well as check out my other channels. And if you're from any area, you can put it below in the comment section and I will give you a quick shout out in your area as well. Without any delay, let's get active. So guys, today we are actually going to solve a quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula. So I'm not even going to attempt to factor them because they are not to be factored, but it's to use as a quadratic formula. So let's do one exercise. Actually, I'm gonna keep the same color actually. Oh, I don't want that. Let's say we have t squared minus 2t minus 11 equal to 0. What is the quadratic formula? Basically, the quadratic formula states you would have b squared. I'm lying. That's not how it starts. The solution to the quadratic, the solution to the quadratic formula is x equal to b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So looking at this formula right here, how can we solve this problem? Well, what is this? Remember, this is equal to this is. I'm gonna write. Okay, let me pause for a second. So when you see an equation, guys, it's always written to the form of ax plus ax squared plus 2ab plus not 2ab, ax squared plus bx plus c. That's actually written. Now, what I'm gonna say is this. When you're looking at this right here, a is the coefficient, b is the coefficient, and c is the constant. So I'm gonna rewrite this equation with the coefficient. So that would basically be a t squared minus 2, or I should say b, minus b x, oh, not x, t actually, minus bt minus 11, which is c, equal to 0. And what this is basically that I wrote into this format. So I'm going to write everything with their respective coefficient. So I would have 1 t squared minus 2t minus 11 equal to 0. So looking at the formula, or the solution to the formula, which is that one right here, what would it be? Well, b, what is b? b is 2. And actually, this is not b, it's actually negative b. My bad, it's a negative b. So that'll be negative. Oops, let me actually put it below instead of here. So that would be no. So that would be negative b. This is b, right? This is b. So negative b, okay. This is b, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is negative 2 squared, right? So that's b squared, minus 4 times a. What is a? A is equal to 1. A times c, and c is equal to negative 11. So that's going to be 4ac over 2a, 2 times 1. So now we can see how it's written. So what's next? Well, what is negative b? It's going to be positive 2. So it's going to be 2 plus or minus the square root of, what is negative 2 squared? Is equal to 4 minus 4 times, oops, what is 4 times 1 times negative 11? So it's going to be 4 times, that will be negative 44, and times the negative, that's going to be positive 44 over 2. So that means we'll have 2 plus or minus square root of 48 over 2. Right? So now, what can we say? We can actually, what we can do is we can separate this. We can say 2 over 2 plus or minus square root of 48 over 2. And can we simplify the square root of 48? Let's see. So 48, let's say 2, that's 24, 2, that's 12, 2, that's 6, and 2, that's 3, and then 3, 1. So 48 basically is 16 times 3, so that would be equal to 1 plus or minus the square root of 16 times 3 over 2. And so that would be equal to 1 plus or minus the square root of 16 times the square root of 3 over 2, which is equal to 1 plus or minus 4 square root of 3 over 2. And that is the answer. Let's do another example. Let's do a second example. I guess in this one, I'm not going to do that many because it is very much straightforward. So let's say we have 4t squared minus 6t plus 9 equal to 0. And we're going to use the formula, which is negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Well, let's see. What is negative b? Negative b is negative 6 plus or minus, what is b squared? Is going to be negative 6 squared minus 4. What is a? A is equal to 4 times a times 4, and c is equal to 9, so times 9 all over 2 times 4. So what's next? Well, we're going to have positive 6 plus or minus the square root of, what is negative 6 squared? 36 minus 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 9, actually, yes, okay. 16 times 9 is equal to what? Well, 6 times 9 is 54. And 9 times 1 is 9 plus 5 is 144. Over 2 times 4 is equal to 8. I don't need that much. Let me just remove that. So, yes, 16 times, right? 16 times 9. So that's 54, 5, and that's 144. Oh, that's 144. So we're going to have 6 over 8 plus or minus the square root of, what is 36 minus 144? Well, so 144 minus 36 is equal to 8. 3, 4, that's 0, 108. So that'll be equal to negative 108 over 8. Okay? Now, 6 over 8 can be simplified to what? So 3 quarters. So that'll be 3 quarters plus or minus the square root of negative 108 over 8. And so now we're going to have a complex number. So how can we do for 108? Well, 108 is also already 9 times 12. And 12 is what? 12 is 4 times 3. So basically 108 can be written as 36 times 3. So that would be 3/4 plus or minus the square root of 36 times the square root of 3 all over 8, which will be equal to 3/4 plus or minus 6 square root of 3. Oh, my bad. That's a negative 3. I almost messed up right here. Hold on. Remember, it was a negative number, so we're going to have times square root of 3 times square root of negative 1, which will be equal to 3/4 plus or minus, plus or minus 6. The square root of negative 1 is equal to I, so we I square root of 3 over 8. And so we can also simplify that to 3/4 plus or minus 3/4 I square root of 3. And that is your answer. Yes. So that, guys, is the answer. And I'm going to stop it right here because I guess we did both regular or real number and complex number. So in this case, I think I've done, I hope it was a good job that I did. And I hope you guys actually understood what I did. If you guys did like the video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. If you don't understand, you can put in a comment and say, hey, can you do one more exercise? Because I don't really quite get it well. Other than that, check out my other channels that is on the screen. And you can always donate to my channel. Everything is in the description down below. This is Mathstats. I hope to see you guys again. Until then, Mathstats out.